So, composing, recording and mixing are pretty much the bulk of the production process. But right there, between the composition and the recording, lies a significant step that's called arrangement.
And no self-respecting tip channel would leave that subject unnoticed. So, without further ado, 1. Create differences.
2. Use layers.
3. Match timbres to emotions.
4. Create a sense of progression.
And 5.
As an arranger, there are endless possibilities. But let's dive a bit further into those five tips from the engineer's perspective.
1. Even if the melody or the rhythm are brilliant through the course of an entire song, they would become boring. Repetition can be a bit tricky. On one hand,
The one for the keyboard shortcuts.
repetition is the mother of earworms, but on the other hand,
The one on the mouse.
it can render the song dull and lifeless.
Differences in arrangement can be created in various ways. Engineering-wise, we can use effects like a telephone-type voice or a huge snare reverb on choruses. We can also carefully use double tracking for making vocals or guitars fatter on one part.
You may also alternate between different mics of a setup, between parts, like blending in the mic signal of a bass along with the DI during a chorus. Use different instruments. The telly might be great for the intro, but the heavy chords accompanying the solo demand a fat ham bucket.
Humbucker.
You get the idea.
Anyway. 2. Layers. Come on, every top engineer and musician is super familiar with that concept. A little double tracking on the chorus guitars, a couple of layers of backing box, a unison synth sound, 2, 8, 20 violins. It is such an established technique from the birth of music, because nothing compares to the volume, the spectrum, and the spatial expansion that layering offers.
Layering can be used with effects too. One reverb isn't always enough, just as the characteristics of one compressor may complement perfectly those of another.
3. It is the producer's and engineer's duty to match the sounds to the emotion the composition dictates.
Consider this, for example. A nice grand piano with overwhelming sustain recorded with full bandwidth, pristine sound and wide stereo image would be of no use in a sad ballad of a man left all alone.
It would just soften his scissors. Just record slightly out of tune upright with a dynamic under the keys. This will give you a much more dry, intimate and sad sound.
And have another one to get the hang of it. Not all guitar solos should be with a gain set up to 11, a more dynamic sound where the performer can adjust the amount of distortion on a note-to-note basis will yield superior results full of emotion.
4. Try to create build-ups throughout the song. That would be the building up of the sonic qualities of a verse as it unfolds, or as in movies, build up the song to a certain point. Most commonly, that will be the last chorus that you will want to be larger than life, composition and sonic-wise, and place it above all the previous choruses.
And the same technique can be implemented with verses. Building your production gradually, with more effects and compositional elements, the parts differ, and you keep the listener's attention, giving them the opportunity to discover new nuances in the second, third or fourth time they listen, and so on.
5. Use ear candies. This can be small sounds that help transitions, accentuate notes or hits, and create extra interest momentarily.
A small feedback before a breakdown can focus the listener's attention in a narrow frequency band, making the breakdown sound more heavy and more impressionable in contrast.
Some extra voices or small words without serious compositional importance, like a "yeah" before a solo, silly though it sounds, pumps you even more when you headbang to that tune.
Transitional effects like reverse cymbals or filter sweeps are some of the most commonly used. Use them wisely and sparingly, my son, or make something similar but more unique.
Here you go! 5 tips to give you some food for thought for your next production. Of course, nothing is written in stone. Okay, almost, but you can give them a try anyways.
I am Bill.
And I'm George. And don't drop the mic, be careful, and buy a quality stand, you chibble!
Like, share and subscribe to give our arrangement a sense of progression too.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. wiggy,